Hello, this is me, Nicholas, also known as Franz the Executioner, and this is going to be a video that I'm going to talk about how I don't understand and I don't agree with certain YouTube channels or content creators spreading misinformation about the medieval period and the Middle Ages, basically spreading misconceptions, stuff that is shown by media, basing their sources off of Wikipedia, which honestly isn't always the best source to be basing facts off of. It's commonly incorrect with a lot of things, and this is a pet peeve, honestly. Number one, misconception that people spread that is presented by movies, media, and it's just wrong, it's inaccurate, is the misconception that medieval people did not value cleanliness. That is not true. There was medieval soaps. There was wells where they catched rainwater, and they did wash themselves. They had bathhouses, and if people couldn't afford that, they did generally try to stay as clean as they possibly could. That is very true. There was early forms of toothbrushes. They did clean their clothes in rivers and try to keep themselves looking presentable to the best of their ability. So I don't like when people spread this misconception that medieval people were just dirty and just didn't care for themselves, because that is false. Number two, I don't like the misconception that people spread saying that medieval people just drank mead all the time. Listen, they caught rainwater in wells. Yes, sometimes that would catch bacteria. Yes, it wasn't always ideal to our minds in today's times. However, they did drink water, and any human needs to drink water, no matter what. And they did try to find clean water, at least somewhat clean to the best of their ability in those times. There was ways of having water. There was ways of having food. Yes, there was famines. Yes, that made it very difficult sometimes to find food. But the whole Middle Ages as a whole, there was points and times where there was food, where there wasn't famines, where people did their very best to have water, and they did drink water. They absolutely did. So that's a misconception. Number three misconception is saying that medieval people did not wear any colors of any kind, and they only wore browns, tans, off-white, or whatever, or black. Number one, black was a very hard dye to make in the Middle Ages. Most people did not have the money to buy black dyed fabric. Number two, if they did wear it. Number three, there was colored clothing that people in the Middle Ages did wear, even peasants. And only colors specifically that were not allowed to be worn in a very specific era of the medieval period, meaning a certain time within the medieval period, was royal purple and a very, very vibrant, rich blue, and velvet and 100% silk and certain weaves of linen and wool that were exclusive to the higher class. However, there was a faint purple that the peasants and the lower class could wear. There was a faint light blue that was very common for the peasants to wear. There was yellows. There was other colors other than brown. The media is wrong. People looking this stuff up, wherever they're finding this misinformation is wrong. I can't stand when I try to help correct these people in the comments, they ignore me or they just don't want to listen. Then don't spread misinformation about history. Do your research. Do it the right way. If you need help, because I specialize in medieval history, and I could even help you do your research. If anyone needs help with that, I am more than happy to collab and help you. More than happy. This is not hate. This is me saying I'd rather have someone ask and actually have the correct information than to be ignorant and ignore people who are trying to help you in the comments and spread historical myths, misconceptions, and misinformation. I am happy to help you if you need it, but don't be ignorant and stupid. This is coming from a place of love. I love history. I love learning about the Middle Ages, and I know a lot about it. I actually teach. I do reenactment. I am happy to help people if they don't know the accurate information. But don't just assume you know something and don't go onto Wikipedia and get your information, because that's not always correct. If you need to get accurate information, either ask people who actually are knowledgeable in this topic or try to find other sources that are not Wikipedia that are historically accurate. There are websites that are historically accurate. So I would appreciate if people would stop spreading misinformation about the Middle Ages, do their research. If anyone wants help and wants to have accurate information in their videos, I am more than happy to help. Just putting it out there. I just want people getting the right information, that's all. So, like, subscribe, leave a nice comment. I hope this video brings light to this topic. And have a great day, everyone. Peace.